It was very sad. Over 75 people have been confirmed dead, and very many more in hospitals. And that's our first topic of the day. Lakini kabla tuingie into that topic, I just want us to have 1 minute of silence in honor of those who died. Sasa tuende straight into our first topic. Na nataka kuuliza, when you heard about this Sinai fire tragedy, what is the first thing that came to your mind? What just sparked off in your mind, madam?
I thought it was unfortunate that we had to go through this again, and you didn't learn from previous experiences like Sanchangwan.
It was very sad that it has to happen the way it was. But it is unfortunate that people died and people lost their lives, especially the young ones and the youth.
I just remembered of the tragedy that was at Machakos and Meru. So I wondered what's happening this month. It's hardly a month since we got that other accident at Machakos and the other one at Meru. The ferry again, So I don't know. I just got a mix-up of things. I really don't understand. We need to pray. Kenyan lead, we need to pray.
It just showed how we are not prepared for disasters. One of the hospitals takes in less than 15 patients and they say they are full. Kenyatta, where everyone else is referred to, is asking for support from the community, asking for blankets, a whole referral hospital. When it gets to the fire, how long does it take for the firefighters to get there? How long does it take for medical aid? It seems to me like Red Cross has now become our relief every time we have such issues.
Actually, nikiangalia gazeti, Gano has had a very good cartoon here, which shows
how well we're prepared. Let's look at the drought, let's look at the floods, let's look at situations of fire. We are simply not prepared.
Okay, sawa. Kwa sasa wacha tuwatch a small insert ikiwa na maelezo zaidi.
Niliona tu watu wakikimbia na ndoo. Nikasikia ni mafuta imetoka kwa sewage. After a few minutes tulisikia explosion. Moto ikaanza tu.
Nilisikia tu explosion hivi masakasa saa 3 hapo asubuhi. Alafu kwanza kulikuwa na kabla explosion kulikuwa na harufu ya mafuta taa. Sasa unajua kukiwa na mafuta taa tu juanga mafuta taa ndio inapita. Sasa watu wakaenda kuchota mafuta. Ile saa kwenda kuchota mafuta kulikuwa na jamaa alikuwa anakisha sigara. Sasa sigara nililetea mambo yote.
Unajua sisi tulikuwa kwa kampuni. Sasa tukitoka break time tukakimbia hapo juu, kampuni iko karibu. Sasa kwenda hivi ndio tukapata moto inawaka. Sasa watu walikuwa tu wanaendelea kuchomeka wakikimbia, wengine wakilia, hata watoto walikuwa hapo ndani.
Watu walikuwa wamechota mafuta. Watu walikuwa wamechota wengi, mpaka watu walikuwa wamelewa. Sasa ndo hapo hivyo ndo moto ikaanza wapi.
Watu husema kuna kisima hapo ya mafuta. Sasa inategemea za ile wameosha huko Devot, sikiteremka hiyo na hiyo kaziwent. Ikikuja hapo watu waendaga wanachota. Si ati ni mara ya kwanza.
Unajua kuna kitu moja iko Kenya, njaa. Unajua mtu akichotoa mafuta sinido. Sasa labda alikuwa after money. Mtu angalie danger, anaangalia money.
Telling Kenyans about disaster and preparing for disaster has not been done well enough. We have had this tragedy now 3 times in this country, and it seems Kenyans are not learning. So I think we must keep repeating the same message about the hazard of anything that has to do with fuel or leaking fuel, etc. I think that is something that we as leaders have failed to do well, and we must take responsibility that we must do it better. I can imagine the kind of of helplessness, especially women who don't know where their children are, husbands who are so looking for their wives, the helpless situation. This certainly would not be the time to do any PR activity, but to do something substantial. First of all, the people who have lost their livelihoods, their homes, their loved ones, something that government should look into critically. But more importantly, how we stop this from happening again. Government must come out clearly.
There was spillage for over 2 months. Imekuwa na wamekuwa kichota.
For 2 months.
Wamekuwa kichota diesel. Sasa ni super ilimwagika jana. Wakafuta ni diesel tu. Then what happens? They continue running there. But now you have to look at the other side of the coin. That's KPC. Kenya Pipeline Company. Imekuwa ikijua kuna spillage inafanyika hapo. Hiyo mafuta ina redirectiwa kwa an open sewer, public open sewer ambayo haiko protected in any way. So, why do you think this is?
It's negligence, ignorance of both the citizens, the government and the KPC. I blame the three parties because first, I as a citizen, I can watch on TV, I can even hear if I don't have the television that something has happened, people have died. I should fear death. Despite that, yeah, I'm living in abject poverty, but I should also think of myself, okay? The people I leave behind.
People to blame is the residents and the KPLC itself. Necessarily not have to blame the director of the KPLC, but actually
KPC.
KPC, sorry. I can't blame the director, but actually the other stars. Director, because maybe he's not involved. Actually, the Ujamako postia juu, he can't be involved sana na hizo stories za kwa slums throughout. Maybe ni wakudogo wake wenye anatubatuma and they bring back the feedback of what they are doing. So,
unakubali. Ngoja hata before endelee unakubali.
No. Yeah, I do not believe. I always believe that if a company or if an organization is successful, you find that all the praise and actually most of the strategies start from the top. So if there's anybody to blame, it is the fellow up there. He should have been well aware.
Ingekuwa prevented kama hizo nyumba the slums, kama wangeambiwa wasijenge hapo. Kama KPC, there was a time walikuwa wanafukuza hapo. They wanted to throw them out, but still the MP I think protested.
Akalala kwa barabara kama bumps.
Kwa barabara kabisa. So that time kama wangekuwa prevented wasijenge, that's something inge happen.
Right now we are paying a lot of money on fuel, and we are being told that the fuel was just leaking in the pipe. They could have detected there's something somewhere.
Let me tell you, there's an inside guy who wrote an article for KPC akisema they knew about it. They knew kulikuwa na hiyo leakage na watu walikuwa na
kufanya anything. They used to it. Yeah, like you have said it that it's something open and they thought it was diesel like ever it has been. So ni kitu imekuwa na wamekuwa, so even if it's water na ninajua ni mbaya, you don't have to go ni kitu unajua as in hata kama ni paraffin, lakini you are saying they are used to diesel, they didn't know that it was super. So if they are used hiyo ni kitu as in you cannot blame the residents are the one to blame on that. Kama ni kitu pia hata ninio the company itself kama amejua kuna kuanga na leakage, lakini sasa jana ikatana out kuwa different from what it is supposed to be. So,
yes, because even wange was supposed to complain about that spirit, yeah? For that duration imekuwa hapo. So that
they cannot complain because they are benefiting from it, and they cannot even if they
but they know the negative side of it.
I think there was a negligence because if that thing was leaking for 2 months and it has been there, they could have sent some of their staff to go and assess that place, because if they have the detector that can check something is leaking somewhere, like the other company, maybe they are like the Kenya Power, they have the sensor. You go there, you get yourself stuck there, and it was just a negligence. You know, something which is being funded for free. Even if you see somebody has died on the road, you can see people, instead of going to help, they go and what, and they still what is there, that the person is already dead.
A pipeline is supposed to, it has a lifespan of 25 to 30 years. Zetu ni 33 years. That's how long they've been there.
At the end of the day, the buck stops at the government, because what are they doing about it? He's saying that the residents should have complained, to whom they are aware about it, but they are not doing anything about it. Whom should the residents have complained to?
So in
if
that
it was a private, I think the government is being biased, because if it was a private company, it would have been shut down the next day. But then since this is the government, we'll just say we are sorry.
Yeah, they just
and
send
then all the
condolences.
politicians appear to just give themselves a political mileage.
So you're saying the government should take responsibility. Who exactly?
The Prime Minister, the President, and the Ministry of Energy, because these people are concerned. Okay, like the Minister of Energy cannot just take that initiative and go there without the order from above. You know, like they have to go there and then they mend some things here and there.
Let's sit down like Kenyans. We just do it. You know, let's say like in that community there, they decide. Okay, we'll not pick we'll not take the oil, the spillage or anything, because all we will do will blame the government. Tomorrow it will happen, we blame the government. The next day it will happen, and it's us. We've lost our parents, we've lost our everyone, and we're still blaming the government.
We'll blame the government for years never ending, but we are the same people who elect this government. So we are the ones who should take that responsibility. That every time you go to that ballot box, think twice. Not even twice. Twice is not even. Maybe 20 times maybe this time, because twice has never worked.
You have to change yourself, the way you live, the way you stay. Free things, you should abandon free things.
Except this Matatu, please
So,
wait.
so,
Anything else.
So because unaona like now if you are not ready to change, hata hiyo fuel yanguki hapo, still you go there. Unaona sasa, na mtu asitake free things. You should fight for yourself, work for yourself.
Free things are good when you are given. But when you go for them, it is just like as if you are stealing.
Firefighters are supposed to be everywhere anytime. You know, when they are called, the maximum time they should take is like 5 minutes. That is the maximum time they should take. Now when they tell us they don't have water, okay, even us we don't have water at home anyway, but still they should be prepared all the time. They should be everywhere.
We are only looking at it from yesterday's perspective, where it was subject to human error, it would have been controlled. But what happens in the case of a natural catastrophe? You see, that one none of us knows when it can befall.
Disaster preparedness in this country, I can simply describe it as a disaster. Isn't there a way we can come up with programs that are more futuristic, that look 20 years into time, other than coming and saying, I'll build for you roads, I'll build you, you know?
Wafunzwe. Sababu pipe inapita hapo na hao ni watu yake, si wanaenda huko tu wakati ya kura peke yake na disaster. Ati anaenda kuanguka huko.
There's something you can do. You can go and donate blood, Kenyatta National Hospital, and that goes for all of you, me and you, JB, and also for the people back home. Please go to Kenyatta National Hospital. The victims need blood, so donate your blood. It will go a long way to help save, even if it's one life. I'll see you, JB. So we're taking a short break now. We'll be right back. Keep it Matatu.